Yes. So previous session was a little bit projecting into the topic, and I promised to keep it practical. And now I'm going to introduce a Sampo method, which is now integrated as a simple spreadsheet workflow for groups to manage projects or manage conversation itself. So the consensus cycle, what I described, starting with questions, now can be recorded line by line in the spreadsheet, and then we can start collecting these answers from individuals per line, and then we can start utilizing the functionalities what are similar to DAOs, that we have some sort of token, for example, what we can stake on wherever we see is necessary for the DAO itself. For example, importance of the question, that we can steer from the vast spectrum of whatever different goals people have or different wishes that we should focus on. We can start voting with these points in this Excel, that we only focus on the most important parts what people share. And normally DAO circle has as well a certain rule set as an initiation to start alignment from the bottom, that we agree how we function. Like in DAOs, we first create a certain sets of rules that applies to all, and then play according to these rules. Different DAOs, if they are public, they require, of course, very different rules than private DAOs, project groups, which are naturally trusting each other. Then we don't have to analyze that much the trust part. But this sheet actually is a powerful mechanism to collect whatever the questions people have within the group. For example, in this group, we can all start collecting which are the essential questions, and then start creating the relations. I have created here an example groups of tags, and these tags can be covering all the logical layers, for example, and or whatever. Every Sampo circle has a certain goal, and Markus had a clear goals, for example, for this AI group, how AI and blockchain is related to each other. We can, for example, create a list of questions from each one of us, and see here whoever are active in the group. We can start spreading our points. Each can have, for example, 20 points, or if the DAO needs to rely on certain meritocracy rules, some people can have more points than others. Probably it's good to keep it as a whoever is the most active contributor should have more points than others. Then we can start staking whatever we believe is important, and if certain in through those questions. That is
It
a
works for me.
basic feature that can be utilized, for example, for question about what are the interesting part for each one of us. What are personal interest related to whatever sets of questions we create? And that steers the human aspect, for example, in the project, which is usually very limited. People are only focusing on whatever comes next and ignore a little bit probably someone is doing something what others could be interested, but that information is not collected systematically. And again, here we can wait whatever is needed and see where we are in point of interest. But the Sampo method started with question, and then each user has its own cell where they can provide their answer. For example, how do you like Sampo? And the question can be whatever. Answer 1 to 10 if that would be sufficient, answering or data structure. Or in what do you like Sampo? Normally here we use 1 as an indication of that this user has input to this topic. This user has no any contribution or no idea what to say, but it is revealed as a 0 that he won't give an answer. But if there's a 1, we use a commenting functionality in spreadsheet that now I can provide my verbal answer to this question. So I like it very much. And people now we created 1 branch for the tree structure, which started with a question, and then we have a set of answers, and we can start, for example, from there. In project-oriented workflows, what I'm heavily involved in, and these lines can be as well tasks. Check what are the possibilities of AI blockchain. And this can be used as a task and can be assigned to people. For example, if I'm user 1 and I am responsible of this task, first responsible. This is a compact RASI table as well, that first responsibility, I'm steering this task, but Alex, for example, could join me, but not taking the full responsibility, at least get informed what I'm doing, or get involved, get sharing. You can be number 3, for example, somewhere, etc. And this is multifunctional method to utilize the same field. And if we go forward, we can start linking the questions together. And if question 1 is relevant to this task, we can start linking, okay, number 1, and we can start collecting whatever rows are related to this task. And this is extremely powerful way to start linking these branches together. So this way we can see that we will get a database kind of structure. We can actually, I can demonstrate as well that what we need to do when we create a new row. Here are functions to pinpoint the next available index number for the database. And in the next field, there is a timestamp that we get the temporal orientation, temporal awareness of what has happened during the project or whatever goal this Sampo circle wants to achieve. And then we start recording the next field, which is who created the line. And that is just a record that someone created the starting point for the branch, and these stuff we can modify however we want, and we can select multiple at once. If this, how do you like Sampo? If this is related to, for example, the purpose of the group, we can tag these kind of elements. This is a completely different approach than whatever linear mesh we are dealing with in whatever project management tools or chat channels. We are all drowning into the messy way of introducing ideas, but this is sustaining the content, and it is sustaining the most essential ones. We can have hundreds of lines, but they are not all relevant. We can start steering dynamically the group's focus with these points that some day some parts are relevant, and that can alter, and that should kind of steer what we are talking about, not what are all the possible topics around. So that is difference between linear and non-linear conversation. I can myself now focus in each project wherever I'm dealing with whatever I'm dealing with my own face, with my own, I no need to, do certain bulky meeting agendas, but I can focus cell by cell on whatever feels natural at this point. So this is basically the template, and the more in detailed functionalities or a realization what are the benefits comes during when we are using the sheet itself. And examples are the best way of yes, please.
So thanks for the demonstration. Is this the current method of documenting questions, responses, and tagging these different and prioritization and weighted distribution of different users?
So Sampo is a methodology which is capable of being implemented in whatever platform, but platform of course dictates the possibilities for functionalities. And Excel, for example, is a basic database model which can be easily integrated to wherever, and people are used to it rather than, for example, the trials what I have been doing with Telegram. People are not following non-linear structures easily. They require a little bit more simple tools to master. I can as well show what we have been doing in Telegram. That is possible as well, and we have been testing it with Helsinki Blockchain Center as well. For example, ask questions. This is a channel where we collect questions. It's equal to listing questions in here, but somehow posting a question in a channel which asks questions is not as simple as this. as you somehow grasp the complete picture better with Excel. When we are collecting in Telegram platform with the Sampo structure, when we first collect questions, we can weight the importance by likes. So we can start seeing which questions has most thumbs up. These questions can be taken then into deeper analysis, and we can start creating these database nodes for collecting beliefs. This is actually not the best example, but for example, here we have many beliefs, and we can set the agreement that within these Telegram question nodes, if there's an answer, it needs to be tagged with an A, for example, and then your answer. Then bots or whatever AI tool can extract all these questions and link the answers to the question. And then we can again, within here, under this question, we can start voting or creating polls, which is exactly the same like in here, that what is the most important or what is the most valuable stuff we need to focus and get the spectrum of belief in that sense. So Sampo is still the same, but the two platforms provide totally different features what we can use. Some features are more suitable in, for example, business-oriented or project-oriented fields than when just trying to make a conversation or dialogue in a structured way. Then social media platforms might be good ones. And the best structure for basic social media is at the moment X. And that gives a fractal style database for conversation. You can deep dive in each comment and create another sub question underneath, etc. And then you can post a link to another question and start collecting the tree over there. And that is yet completely different toolset what we can use. Second option would be Bastion, for example, totally decentralized social media, which is protected in that sense that if you have sensitive story to tell, that probably would be something which is valuable to be kept online as long as possible. Then you should rely on that sort of platform, and there are own methods on that platform as well, but still the consensus cycles are there. From each of these platforms we can create these three branches, which starts with question and in a structured manner collecting all the answers, and then have some sort of votings, polls, likes, or whatever, which are creating the belief spectrum in each different platforms, but the result is the same. That won't expand or explode the consensus, but rather wherever we are using it, it collects or it's creating or stitching the same tree and crystallizing the consensus. And more participants are involved. They are not just creating a mess. They all know the Sampo method and stitch or create the tree in a similar manner and can jump between the branches, between platforms, and still focusing on the same goals. Yeah. Did that, Kenneth, answer?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the simple question was basically, is this the current method of documenting? And, so
One of
my
those.
my humble
Yes.
yeah, my humble
Yeah.
opinion is there has to be a better way, and AI has those tools available to help in that.
In X, for example, there is this AI tool called Grok, and Grok can participate these consensus cycles, and that
Right.
is I like that method a lot, and that is available for everyone. And all spreadsheets are nowadays integrated with whatever AI tools available, so you can as well include functionalities in spreadsheets. But of course, the end goal would be to have some sort of easy APIs to collect all this information to somewhere which is kind of um, more not powerful, but more coherently ingested in different AI agents.
Right.
But to
Conversational
provide,
AI.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
something like
but
that.
for example, Grok can already understand the Sampo trees in X, so that is already kind of early
I
adoption.
think Tommy has
But
a question.
yes, Tommy.
I was thinking that uh, while this all sounds pretty interesting, I would like still a bit more clear structure. So I was wondering if you're familiar with Arthur Brock's work on currency design.
Never heard.
Yeah, this guy has
But
like interesting information on the web where you
yeah,
basically pay a couple of well, $50 or so
okay,
and
that's
get.
already too much for Sampo, because Sampo is completely free and the framework needs to be something what is available for everyone. It should work in all available platforms, and if Sampo would cost something, that is already a bottleneck to expand exponentially worldwide.
Yeah,
But
sure, but
yes,
if you don't have some kind of a structure to start with, you won't get into the exponential phase.
what do you mean structure? You're muted. I try to approach to the kind of realization with the structure, and what kind of structure you're referring to. Is
I
it
I I
something
don't
linear?
I don't see the connection currently between the presentation you had previously and this Excel sheet, but maybe it's just me.
As I said, it is a little bit complicated theory to grasp fully without experiencing it, to go living through the cycles. And whenever we test this style, you would realize that the structure itself is something which is metaphysical, not any physical. And many tools available nowadays are sticking with the technical, some sort of blocks which are static and dictating actually the method. But now here the method itself is metaphysical rather than sticking with the physical reality. So we can utilize that knowledge in whatever tool. So I'm of course looking forward to check what Arthur has his hands, but I have experienced that many of these existing methods as well, they could be altered, adjusted, and fitted in Sampo in many ways. But if this Excel structure feels not suitable for some goal, that is of course dependent on the goal, and we need to pinpoint the goal what we need to seek. If we are dealing with project, with tasks, normally we need to start selecting some sort of tool, is it Slack or whatever, and then we are stick with this platform, and we are not agnostic to the features what Slack provides. But if we take another point of view and create a method, a certain rule set to deal with the language, deal with the structure, we can implement it into any platform, and Slack I have as well tested, but that is very narrow and messy with my experience compared to, for example, this extremely easy to use Excel approach, which is available for everyone for free. For Slack, you need to pay something again. And the structure itself, you can modify Excel for whatever purpose. Slack you can't. But examples are the way to go, and we should, I think, demonstrate this method between us and start collecting the practicalities in here. What are the essential questions? What are the goals we need to approach? Collect the questions, see which questions are the most important or who are interested in which questions. Then we naturally group these people together who are interested in the same topics, and that is the natural step to go forward and deepening the question with, for example, sharing tasks related to question or have sub questions or however. But the tree itself, it is created with a branch, starting with question, then collecting answers and seeing what beliefs are there within the group. The branches are the lines, and if we create a tree structure, we need to start with the most foundational question. What is the goal? The goal is related to some another question. Then we attach another branches to that question. There comes the fractal tree structure, which is exponentially capable of capturing any sets of beliefs.
Is there a visualization of the scope of whatever content is put in this Excel, for example, this sheet,
Yeah. Yes.
tied to that 3D visual that you showed? Like I'm trying to understand like how this sheet file will transfer into a common collective understanding
Yes.
of what you demonstrated.
Sure. But that is a goal oriented, and we should have a goal to reflect on the method. And if the goal is fixed, we should start collecting, as we earlier discussed. Words doesn't mean anything, and as well, if I start describing the linkage vaguely, it doesn't mean to you anything. You need to experience it and start, traveling through the systems model and realizing, okay, there are relations between these aspects. If you start manipulating the 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 goal, then your trust disappears, and we again go back into the bottom of the structure. If we only
I understand that.
only stay, within the consensus cycles, we are in a flat state in the diagram I showed, and we can start collecting the data. That is the starting point to start finding out why we are here, and all questions has some reflection to all your logical layers, and we can start mapping how are these questions related to all of your mental models, and then we can travel the pyramid up and down, and then
I understand that.
yes, and
Right. The thing is,
we can start traveling and experiencing it together, and that is probably the best way to learn it, because this is new stuff to everyone, probably, or not everyone, but most of the people, and systems thinking is a field which is not as popular as chaotic thinking, and that needs to be learned. And many people, of course, what I experienced, are not naturally born systems thinkers. That needs to be experienced. As I said, the relations are usually hidden. The benefits are hidden because they are not providing the benefit with the first order relation. Only second order relation comes with the benefit, and that's usually something which only by experiencing the benefit you create a trust to process, and then probably learn it more quickly. So I recommend to
so
have a concrete example rather than a theoretical approach.
agreed. And with the systems level thinking, that as well, there are not enough, and that's a skill that you need to learn and practice
Yes,
in practice.
yes,
That's I have been fortunate during my career to have been exposed to system level thinking, and I've been involved in and created, these kinds of visuals myself. I understand this. I
yes,
think in a very deep level.
yes.
However, I cannot see uh, organizations filling in Excel sheets on a practical level. It's not going to work.
It's
That's
working.
my
It's working. I
no, no,
have
no.
proved it.
What I'm
It's
saying is
working,
it's
and yeah.
not scalable. What I'm saying is there can be a better way. There can be a better way.
For what purpose?
Technology, yeah,
Yes,
technology
but
exists to help, right?
to take an example from Helsinki Blockchain Center, from jumping out from the Excel was too much for people. So Excel
Right,
is the
but
entry level of grasping whatever is the organization trying to
yeah,
achieve, and of course the most simple method won't give the best result, the most powerful result, of course not.
yeah,
But Excel is most familiar with people, and I have experience with 4 business groups, extremely happy with the kind of method, and this is experience which involves human level understanding
yeah,
that people have limitations with their cognitive capabilities and habits, and
correct.
Excel is the most widely used method for simple tasks.
Yeah.
If you want to
I
expand
hope you
it
understand, Timo, that
globally,
my
and I recommend to jump right away into X. X platform gives AI capabilities and gives possibility to dive deeper and create the bigger structures without, diving into the endless spreadsheet.
Yeah,
But
I
that's the
hope
spec.
I don't come across as critical, because what I'm not in any way criticizing the work and any in these methodologies. What I'm saying is my intent is pure, in a way that I want to see this get better, because I understand the value behind the structure of this kind of a structure, like a philosophical
Yeah,
thinking
sure.
and systems
Yes.
level design. I understand it, and what I'm saying is just like my intent of saying something is uh, always out of a place of love and respect. So
Of course, that is for sure, and of course I understand it, and it is just a matter of understanding what you believe is a better solution is different for each organization, and the better needs to be analyzed, and that process needs to be started from somewhere. And if you endlessly try to seek the optimal static, the better solution, you never ever go and proceed to the stage where you could start communicating in a way that people are understanding each other. And this was the core, for example, limitation in our experience with blockchain center, that it started with one methodology which was already too complicated because people were not kind of
yeah,
familiar
yeah.
with
So
Telegram, and that was
yeah,
very
Timo,
much
I understand.
limitation.
Yeah. So the only difference here is you know the context, right? So
Yeah.
you're speaking about this in the context of Helsinki Blockchain Center, and what I was speaking and addressing to you was in the context of there are different maturity levels in different organizations, and that I understand,
Yes.
and I just see this
Yes.
as a more scalable solution, user friendly, utilizing different methodologies, and AI
Yes.
has some of those built in.
Yes. I know that we are aligned, and this is, the limitation of linear communication, that we are just incapable of now transmitting our lineage of the logical levels to each other. We of course seek the same thing, but where to start, where to initiate the interest of, or the motivation to start synchronizing our mental models, that can't be linked to any platform, any whatever, single theory. That needs to be systematically covered and started from somewhere. And Sampo is, in this case, system agnostic, and the easiest method to start aligning with the different logical levels. The process, the question, what is the most essential question within the group? Already that
Right.
is impossible to cover in this meeting because we are limited to only a few participants and we are limited with time. And the starting point is to share a platform where these questions can be delivered. WhatsApp won't be that, any linear media won't be that style or won't be that platform. That I'm sure. And the most result I have, got is actually the entry level is that people know Excel, and when using it, learning it, it steers itself, and suddenly you realize that you have, some value to give to the group. If people are, putting points to your question, you see that, okay, I have hit something, and then suddenly your motivation starts to happen, and suddenly with itself, you will proceed much faster than with the style of dictating the platform or dictating the whatever is the goal. That is, I think, the nature of DAO, not to steer or not to create bottlenecks in organization. To have real decentralization means that we need to have something which comes equally from everyone, the contribution and the steering mechanisms.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So what
please
next?
provide me examples if you have found better ways, or if you invent better ways. This is all fine, this is all super, and I appreciate your, ideas, and I'm, of course, happy to reflect it with Sampo.
Do we come into conclusions, or do we have to come, say, in 15 minutes to end of the this evening's conversation here, that can we get to the next steps like that with the proposal, for example, that like I said, I provided this direct like my expectation for this group kind of thing, that what I think would be nice if for example everyone would similarly have like that we could have those kind of things that what happened in the voting in Telegram or so on, or we could kind of this is just like to this group where we want to learn the possibilities from AI and blockchain. Blockchain AI was already, Alex want to say it that way around, because we come from the blockchain, but when you sell like AI blockchain thing to the wider population there, like when you confront the people in the different events, so they accept, like when they hear the AI and blockchain, so why the blockchain is important to the AI, you need to say it that way around, that the normal person understands it better. But anyhow, that's not the thing what I'm wanting to say. This is just like this one group. This is the group number 3 here. We have a good systematic way been producing like material to understand, like first of all, what's a DAO, what's a blockchain, what's a AI, how they work, and to somebody that we can get new people here to really to experience like from this area and learn something new. So this is kind of has been purpose for this group, okay? But we have another one where I would want to bring the conversation already maybe in this group. It is tomorrow there is a summer party, traditional summer party from Consensus people in Helsinki. They are kind of with us there within this invitation to this Finland roundtable talks with the parliament members, the ministers, like that where does the industry blockchain and the cryptocurrencies go in Finland. And if we kind of collect and do things to this topic as well, we have 5 weeks time here. We have a new orientation like within the blockchain forum and blockchain center, that how we do this thing and what we want to publish and how we want to go ahead. And it would be nice to involve people to this, to offer the possibilities. And if this result from this week's meeting here and the preparation to this meeting, if we come to a conclusion, that how would you think or want that we start the conversation, like in the some platform now, or some kind of within this Excel thing, or within the Telegram, or we have this group now here in the WhatsApp, what seemed to have been the lowest, like some people don't want to come to, like I know Tommy, we normally use Signal. We are only in Signal with many people, they don't come to it, but it doesn't matter where the people come, I'm okay, I go there as well, that as like platform, but the proposal, like from the Timo and Kenneth, you had a good conversation. What's your ideas that to the continuation here?
Yeah, I recommend to continue wherever people are at the moment, where people feel natural. I would say that, it is just a limiting feature dictating people to join only a single place. I would, ask people to raise a questions. What are the most essentials? We can collect from whatever platform those essential questions to Excel spreadsheet and see if we find a common interest with the core circle, the most active persons who are willing to steer the topics or the dealing with the questions. We can start asking, what people are feeling with the questions and collect the answers, spectrum of beliefs. We can moderate it and collect them into the Excel. And we would then have some sort of a documentation, not just disappearing linear conversations in each Telegram or WhatsApp group, but we would have a foundation for documentation that we can use as a bookmarking system, and we can create links in here into these WhatsApp group posts, etc., etc. So this spreadsheet can work as well a bookmark database for these kind of topics. So I recommend to start, because people are from different fields, different skill sets. I see that we need to stick with the most simple ones because people are not used to many too sophisticated methods. And if the core group starts learning the manual DAO method, then with a lead or with the example, maybe others will be interested as well to dive deeper, not just discussing in a surface level these topics. And we, I think, need some sort of a project management tool, what we experienced in the previous trust event. So this kind of a simple project management approach that we have a list of tasks and clear responsibilities per task is a great achievement already, what we could have. What about others?
Yeah, I
What
mean,
would you suggest?
as again, coming from operational excellence, there's a question of who, what, when, where, how. What's the process? Where's the accountability, right? Who does
Yes.
it? When is it done? How is
Yes.
it done? Who's responsible? Simple.
Yes. Simple, but where? Where should we do that? Where should we raise those questions and where should we collect the answers as a collective? How in practice is my question.
Well, you said it. You pushed it here. Like this was your idea, that the use of the Excel, the sheet.
Yes.
You said it
Yes.
works. So
Yes.
there's a foundation,
Yes.
right?
Let's go for it. I mean, and let's have a kind of aggregation channels wherever, and we as a core group can collect the questions and see what are the most essential ones we need to ask from others.
Yeah.
Is that
I'm in.
logical?
I'm in as well. So let's just go for it, and let's have this continuation anyhow with this group continuing, and that we get things to report as well. That we have some results. But yeah, so I will prepare and write something like together that I can be a bit sparring with Kenneth and with Alex, and we can come back to you, Timo, and Tommy. You are of course totally welcome to evaluate that the way we are going. But I think we kind of would need to. I will tomorrow meet all those consensus guys and all these chaps here, like with this Quarn X things and these exchange people, and to really to within this crypto thing that they are big way wanting to get kind of to the next level, and I think we have, as a blockchain forum, we have been like building now the blockchain forum Europe, our own old thing that we have the blockchain forum Finland and the blockchain forum Europe from the day one when we started. So we go bit back into these roots, and within the blockchain forum we are totally like open to everything. The Helsinki Blockchain Center as such, there is like the things that what we do with Vanta and so on, we need to be going the corporate line, and it's a company doing that, and this is an association doing the thing like, and we have now teamed up with the Nordic Blockchain Association, and they didn't want to operate with the profit-making company the way they want to and can operate with another association, and for that reason, so we have like we go in two lines, but all this development here I will be focusing to do in the name of the blockchain forum. So yeah.
But practically, next steps, let's use WhatsApp, let's raise those questions. Kenneth had all those foundational questions. I will document them already. If you, Kenneth, can post them there, I can create a template which already has those initial questions, your names in columns, and you can start using your bullets and start voting where we should focus and provide your answers. Simple.
Yeah, I think that it's learning by doing is
Yes.
really the thing, and the thing to like it gave me new meanings, like the way you presented DAO thing. And the most surprised I was like from a thing that within the yesterday's day before links there that when there was like that Sovellu, the guy who I know, and he was me. To me, he's still like a computer guy. He's like a computer like scientist title could be that is doctorate, and then I learned from this document that he's a doctor in the psychological things, and I thought that, oh my God, how can that be? This is the new world. So you are like a shrink to the people to learn to think computer way, that you give a title to guy like Sovellu like that. So it's nothing to do with the old-fashioned technical things what we did early days. That so we go in a different new worlds, like within in the academic side as well. And this thing that we, there are lovely new things we can do and learn, but the communication here as well, that when we have a solid mechanismus thing that it's in the talks, this will give us a lot if we can pull it through, say even the 2 months, and to see how the Finnish state is after the roundtable talks. Did we achieve like in these 5 weeks? I'm really keen to achieve here something, big things now in 2 months. So, but thank you all. There came just a summary from the meeting now, a pop-up. Again, I didn't press anything. I didn't do anything. These seem to have a mind of themselves, like these computers nowadays.
Yes. But hey, yes, let's continue asynchronously and in the chats. That's more fruitful, like these meetings. And I won't probably participate in any linear meetings from here on. Only a certain, pinpointed goals with Alex. We can continue with the more fruitful kind of way to this
Great.
synergy thinking. But hey,
Thank you all. Thank you all. Have a good
Thank you.
evening.
Thank you.
you
Bye-bye.
too.
You guys. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.